Tonight, Gypsy Rose Blanchard is a free woman, released from prison on parole today. Her story gained national attention after being sentenced to 10 years for aiding in the murder of her abusive mother. Dee Dee Blanchard was believed to have had a rare psychological disorder that played a role in her daughter's abuse. Gypsy Rose Blanchard has an upcoming book on her story. More now from our Gary Tuckman.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard, a little girl whose mother Dee Dee was known as a loving, caring single parent of a profoundly disabled child.
It's Mayberry. We're moving to Mayberry.
I remember my mom had gave me this little glass house, and she said, one day this will be real. And now it finally is.
Gypsy and her mother had just moved into a Habitat for Humanity home in Missouri after their house was devastated in 2005 by Hurricane Katrina. It appeared to be a feel-good story for this child, whose mother said she had brain damage, leukemia, asthma, muscular dystrophy, and was not able to walk. But it was all a lie. Dee Dee Blanchard had fabricated it all. Gypsy was victimized by her mother's apparent Munchausen syndrome by proxy, in which a guardian causes or exaggerates illnesses. Gypsy never went past second grade.
It just proves that happy endings are not just in fairy tales, they're real and true in real life also.
The elaborate scheme that Dee Dee concocted did indeed get her sympathy, like at this charity function.
In our darkest hour. Thank you, Miss Judy. And I always said, you're the reason I was born to be your mama.
State of Wisconsin versus Gypsy Blanchard.
But then, in 2015, Gypsy and a long-distance boyfriend were charged with murdering Dee Dee. Gypsy told Nicholas Godejan about the lifetime of abuse she endured. They came up with a plan to kill her mother, and Godejan was accused of stabbing her to death in their Missouri home. Police reportedly found out about the killing from this violent post on a Facebook page that Gypsy shared with her mother.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Would you state your name for the record, please?
Gypsy Blanchard.
And how old are you?
I'm going to be 25 years old at 24.
Gypsy's boyfriend was found guilty and is serving a life sentence.
I would have never did it if it was not for me.
Prosecutors felt Gypsy needed to be held accountable, but because of the abuse she experienced, they agreed to a plea bargain.
She's to be sentenced to 10 years in the Missouri Department of Corrections.
While in prison, Gypsy talked with TV personality Dr. Phil about how her mother lied to doctors and how her mother handled her medical appointments.
She told me that I couldn't speak during a doctor's appointment. She would tell me, sit in the wheelchair, play with your Barbie dolls, and let me talk and don't interrupt. My mother told the doctors that I was mentally incompetent.
Gypsy also said her mother tried to convince her how helpless she was.
She would always use the medical term for everything that was wrong, that I had microcephaly, which is small head, that my brain didn't develop right, and I'll never mature past a 6-year-old's level.
After she was sentenced to 10 years in prison, Gypsy was told this.
She'll have to do 85% of her sentence before she's eligible for parole.
And today, that 85% is now over. Gypsy Rose got married while behind bars to a Louisiana school teacher, a relationship that reportedly began as pen pals. She is now free to be with him, to live as normal a life as possible, while she and we remember the things she was once forced to say, like this about her new house.
It's beautiful, and it's happy, and it's full of love.
Gary Tuckman, CNN, New York.
All right, joining us now is criminology professor and former FBI Special Agent Brianna Fox. Brianna, what do you make of the fact that Gypsy was released early after pleading guilty to second-degree murder in her mother's death?
Well, thanks for having me, John. That shows that she obviously was very willing to take responsibility for this, and that's what parole boards essentially look for when they're making these type of determinations. She also wanted to consider her abuse and trauma she experienced. That made sure essentially people knew why she did what she did.
Yeah, and considering the abuse she experienced, what do you make of the fact that she was sentenced to 10 years?
Well, it's extraordinary, especially considering that her boyfriend was sentenced to life in prison. It shows that the prosecutors really understood the compelling nature of her story, what she went through, and that essentially a jury would have given her at least a reduced sentence or something that really would have been commensurate with what she'd gone through as a child.
So, Gary Tucker mentioned in the piece, Dee Dee Blanchard, the mother, was suspected of having Munchausen syndrome by proxy. How difficult is it to detect and diagnose that condition?
This is one of the most difficult things to detect for a variety of reasons. One, the medical field is set up so when someone's brought into the hospital and they're complaining of different ailments, symptoms, pain, that's not something they can just ignore. Even when they're going through different tests, if it's not coming back the way they expect, you have to keep running it down. And even when Gypsy Rose's mother was told for some various ailments that she claimed Gypsy had, no, the tests aren't coming back, she would go to a different doctor. And she kept going to different doctors until she heard what she wanted to hear. At that point, it's very difficult for prosecutors to say, you're actually faking this or you're putting your daughter through all of this trauma and abuse.
Had this abuse been exposed earlier, what type of punishment would she have faced, if any?
Well, Gypsy Rose probably wouldn't have engaged in what she had done, but her mother, on that hand, probably would have been charged with child abuse. Gypsy Rose may have been transferred to live with her father or other family members, or even taken in by the state. But considering that Gypsy is one of the few people that actually improved in health and her wellness after serving almost a decade in prison, that really shows what she went through and how destructive it was as a child.
And again, back to the condition that her mother allegedly had. Any of the responsibility fall on the doctors who treated Gypsy for conditions she ultimately didn't have?
I think that doctors are in a tough situation. They want to trust clients and they want to, make sure they're not essentially telling somebody no and to leave. But when doctors are turning down medications or when they're turning down treatments repeatedly, that's usually a sign they don't believe what's going on. And instead of just turning a blind eye, I think that more people should make sure they're saying something. Reporting this to authorities, saying something to other family members. People in Gypsy Rose's family had been aware of accusations of what her mother had been doing, but essentially none of this came forward to authorities in time.
Brianna Fox, thank you so much for being with us. We'll be right back.